the story I'm going to tell you today is about how my parents came over to Vietnam and started a new life in America. It relates really deeply to me because it affects how I'm here today and able to get a higher education because of that. Okay, so the side that I'm going to tell you is my dad's side because I feel like his is a bit more relevant to what happened back in the Vietnam War. So as he told me, he related back to one day they were just playing around as kids. My dad was about 5 years old and his oldest brother was about 7, and he's a family of 5 brothers. And so they were playing outside, out in the yard in Vietnam, when they heard a siren cry. And that siren that goes off indicates that the communists were coming in. And what they didn't know was that the communists have already passed the southern border. So they were literally 15 minutes away from invading their home. And so as quickly as they could, they grabbed some clothing. My grandma grabbed some pictures, and just left like most of the necessities that you would need, except maybe like a t-shirt and pants. And so they rushed all the southern Vietnamese people out to the boats, the Navy boats, so that the boats could launch and take them to a safe area. But as soon as they were getting on board, everyone was looking for my grandpa, and my grandpa is one of the captains of the Navy ships, and he was sitting in his office refusing to come out and leave the country. He was so stubborn and determined to stay there and fight that his bodyguards literally had to drag him out of his office and bring him up to the walking area to the ship. And so when he came over to America, he only had his shirt and his pants. At first, my family didn't reach America. We were landed in, I believe, the Philippines, Guam, and we stationed there for about 6 months. And this is where like the refugees camps were and everything like that. And since my grandpa had higher power, higher status, they managed to have like a gallon of water for them and ration portions of food. It wasn't until, like I said, 6 months early or 6 months afterwards was when the whole family got sponsored from this church down in Kitsap, Washington, to come down to them and basically be saved and be reverted to be Catholic. And that was basically the deal for us to come over to America. And so there my family lived for about a few years after their childhood until graduation of high school. And then after that, they've made it back in America, and both of my parents have great jobs and are living the American dream.